Hey guys, Fred and Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum, fredmccoy.com. Sheila's behind the camera.
Good morning, guys. I hope you're having a great morning.
We just done one video and I said I'll finish up with this other one. I don't mean they're going to be in this order, but you know, we were talking about how's these stories come about? How does people keep believing the same thing? How do they? Well, Wikipedia. Go to Google and Google William Anderson, Devil Anse Hatfield. Go do it. Bring it up on your screen. You can see what I'm reading right here. This is what I'm looking at. William Anderson, Devil Anse Hatfield, September 9th, 1839, January 6th, 1921. An American timber merchant, Civil War veteran who led the West Virginia Hatfield family during the Hatfield-McCoy feud. Civil War veteran / deserter, or Civil War deserter. Veterans shouldn't even be mentioned in there. That's stolen valor, but his family seems to have a history of that, or at least some with the same name. Hatfield was born, but let's go down here to his nickname. How did he get his nickname? Well, Sheila and I done videos on this. We're not going to do it again, but how did he get his nickname? Well, variety says his mother gave it to him. Some says Randall McCoy called him 180 pounds, 6 foot, 180 pounds of hell. Randall McCoy was that 6 foot. Yeah. Why would he look down at a 5'6" fella and say 6 foot, 180 pounds of hell? If you're not looking straight across seeing eye to eye, he's not 6 foot. American Civil War. Got it from his battle, his bravery. I didn't see that earlier. He earned the nickname from his bravery during the battle in American Civil War. Really? Bravery. Bravery tells you in there that he deserted. He got on his horse and ran. Left the other ones to die, fend for themselves, or be taken prisoner of war. Now, you guys that love Devil Anse and history, and you say on that Facebook page, great history. Man, that's you'll believe this, and you can keep on. It ain't going to do nothing if you do believe it. It don't take nothing away or nothing. It's just you're not a history buff. A supporter of the Confederacy, Hatfield enlisted in the Confederate Army during the American Civil War. He was commissioned a first lieutenant cavalry in the Virginia state line. A group made territory along the Kentucky and Virginia border. Loyalties of Union and Confederacy was mixed. That's true. Any border states, they're mixed. Virginia state line was eventually disbanded in 1863, and Hatfield enlisted as a private in the newly formed 45th Battalion, Virginia Infantry, before being appointed first lieutenant, later captain of Company B. He was captain of Company B. He joined in September, October, November of 62, and within those 4 or 5 months, he was already promoted to lieutenant, captain, and now he's deserted in February. Made captain, then deserted. But yet there's never been a record, never, not one record, where he ever held the rank of captain. Private, we've showed you that. Devil Anse has been connected to killings of Civil War Union fighters, including trackers, Anse and Fleming Hurley in 1863. I don't even know who that is. Sheila and I are Hatfield McCoy historians and Civil War and all that. Not as much as Hatfield McCoy. Never heard. That's just been added recently.
Yeah, never heard.
We don't even know who them guys are, do we?
I've never heard of them.
But so. Devil Anse, he killed them too because they were trackers. Devil Anse and his uncle, Jim Vance, later formed the Confederate guerrilla fighting unit called Logan Wildcats. They also formed what become known as Tug Valley Desperados, Tug Valley Villains, or better known as Hatfield Gang. The Hatfield Gang. It's what the warrants back in the 1800s.
That's what I was going to say. Some of the documentation we got calls them the Hatfield Gang. You don't have to go
show it. We've showed it on other videos. We're not going to spend a lot of time still showing documentation like Sheila used to.
Right.
Everything we talk about at this point in life, we probably showed at some point or another.
Sorry guys, you've already seen it. So.
One of the groups, a victim was Bill France. Of course they say, oh, he killed Bill France. He done this, he done. Wow. A lot of history on that, right here. A lot of history. Oh, he killed 100 men he killed a whole company of Union soldiers at the Devil's Backbone. He did. No evidence, no proof, no, nothing of it. 100 men, that'd be big history back in that time. Spoken in the history and written in the history. Hatfield had been home ill at the time of the killing. That's when they killed Asa Harmon McCoy. But you know how they throw old Jim Vance under the bus? Everybody throws old Jim Vance under the bus. They always say, but we think it was probably committed at the instigation of his uncle, Jim Vance. Poor old Jim Vance tried to be faithful and loyal to his family. I want to say something, but I won't because she'll get on to me. But Jim Vance and Cap's not two of our favorite people, but Jim Vance and Cap, or at least Jim Vance, had the intestinal fortitude to fight. This may have sparked the beginning of the notorious feud between the two families. There's several things, guys, that could have sparked the notorious feud. When did it turn from hard feelings into a feud? We'll talk about that in another video. But there's several things that could have caused it. But what's the number one thing? What's the number one thing that caused hard feelings between Randall McCoy and Devil Anse Hatfield that the West Virginia Hatfields never, or the Kool-Aid drinking fan club of Devil Anse, never want to talk about? Could it have something to do with battle, and you're fighting with people and you're shooting it out and you're fighting and all of a sudden you're already short-handed and you look around behind you and that sorry ass is riding off on his horse, running, going home?
Beep.
Yeah, I know, I won't go get that. I ain't angry. It's common.
Yeah.
Would you get angry?
Sure.
Would you have hard feelings and then all of a sudden your friends, most of them's killed? You and my great-great-grandfather, Randall McCoy, my great-great-grandfather was taken POW, spent the rest of the Civil War in the hardest prisoner of war camp there was. Hard feelings because the man took off and ran like a chicken, a coward, and then we make a hero out of him. Devil Anse deserted. Now this is Wikipedia.
Okay.
Devil Anse deserted the Confederate Army in 1864 and returned home to his family in West Virginia, where he began acquiring land. True. Acquiring land. He stole anything he could get, mostly the timber off of it. But it says here he deserted in 1864. No, the papers we have, the Civil War papers we have and we've had for years. He deserted in 1863. What's a year? What's the difference in a year and so what? What's the difference in about 16 or 18 months? Almost 2 years difference, see? Because the beginning of, most of them says they deserted in late of 64, late fall of 64. Well, Civil War
fall of
ended.
64?
Yeah, when he deserted.
Oh, okay.
Some of them says that.
Okay, I'm
sorry. Civil War ended in April of 65. So if they can act like he deserted toward the end of 60, well, the war's almost over. He just, no, he left right at the peak of Civil War. He left it when the battles were going on. But he returned to West Virginia and started acquiring land and timber. Despite being illiterate, he managed to build a profitable lumber business. Guys, it's not hard to build a profitable business of any sort. If you steal the ingredients, you're going to sell cornbread. And you go out and steal the flour or meal, whatever it is it takes to make it, and then you make all this cornbread and you're 100% profit. You go out here and just start cutting timber wherever you see a tree at, you cut it, haul it to the mill, cut it up. That's 100% profit. It ain't hard to.
You're doing good.
Says here that he won thousands of acres of virgin timberland in a lawsuit from McCoy relative Perry Klein. Well, Perry Klein was not a McCoy relative. No blood relation whatsoever to the McCoys. Perry Klein's sister had married Anse, but they wasn't no blood relation. But that's another thing. Besides the captain rank, that's on our list. We've never seen this lawsuit. Everybody talks about this lawsuit. Everybody, every book, every History Channel, everybody, lawsuit. 1867 lawsuit, 1867 criminal charges over there on Ellison Hatfield for stealing 4 pigs off of Asa Peter McCoy. 1867. But we can't find a 1872 or 1877 lawsuit in court, but everybody knows about it. It was a big case in court. Big case, but nobody can find it. It's what you call spoken in the history, guys. Hatfield was baptized on September the 23rd, 1911.
Good.
He went on to found a Church of Christ congregation in West Virginia. Went on to found his own church. Never been such thing, except in T.C. Crawford's book back in 1888 after he'd done the cabin massacre. T.C. asked him if he belonged to church, and he said he belonged to the devil's church. Belonged to the devil's church. So somebody has taken this devil's church and tried to turn it into a plus instead of a minus. Now they've taken this and they've added this in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. I haven't been on it.
Wow.
Started his own church. But he didn't have the gall to say, thank you, Lord, saving me. Now I'm going to repent of all my sins that I've done here in West Virginia and Kentucky. I'm going to go across that Tug River and turn myself in and see if I can't answer for everything I've done. Maybe they'll have leniency on me where I'm turning myself in. Did he do it? No. He went to his grave with Kentucky warrants on him for murder. Went to his grave. That's the man you guys are honoring. And this is Wikitree, or not Wikitree, but Wikipedia. He was an uncle to the governor of West Virginia and United States Senator Henry D. Hatfield. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you about Henry D. Hatfield. I don't know how they got along. I wasn't there then. But I'll tell you who Henry D. Hatfield was. He's a hero of mine and Sheila's. But Henry D. Hatfield was the son of Good Elias. Good Elias Hatfield was the brother to Devil Anse Hatfield. Now, I don't know how they got along. I don't know how Henry and Devil Anse got along. I don't know how Good Elias and Devil Anse got along later on in life. I'll tell you how they got along once. On those 20 names over there on that wall that was indicted at the pawpaw trees is Good Elias Hatfield. He was listed. He was indicted for being at the pawpaw tree killing, assassination. After he was indicted, he went to the Commonwealth Attorney in Kentucky, went to the governor of Kentucky, and pled his case and said, hey, I wasn't there. I refused to go. And because I didn't go and I didn't participate, my brother, Anse,
put a hit out on
me. Shoot him on sight. Devil Anse tells people back then to shoot his brother on sight. Now, he's acting like he killed these 3 McCoy boys because they killed his brother. But he's got another brother that won't go and lower himself to tie 3 people up to a tree and shoot them.
One of them
20
totally
men.
innocent. One of them totally innocent.
One of them 15-year-old boy.
Kid, yeah.
Yeah. And he wouldn't do that. And after he wouldn't do it, Devil Anse says, kill my brother on sight.
Yeah.
He's not his brother anymore. So I don't know. Henry D. Hatfield was Good Elias' son. I don't know if my brother was to tell somebody to.
Okay, sorry about that.
Sheila cuts some of my stuff out. She says I get too passionate, so she cuts it out. So someday, if I can ever run across these excerpts that she's cut out over the years, you guys probably pay to watch them. The information you could get. But anyway, I have a feeling that somebody's offspring would not like the fact that somebody else put out a hit on their father. So again, you can read Wikipedia. You can read these Facebook pages and you can say good history. You're not getting good history. You might say good story because that's what you're getting. And for some reason, the poor old fellas, they keep throwing it out there. They've shoveled it so long and they've thrown it out there for so long, they're hoping that, and more people do. More people see that than they do our videos, I'm sure. But you know what I'm hoping for? I'm hoping someday when I'm dead and gone, or Sheila's dead and gone, that somebody will run across them and say, hey, here's the history with proof. These are the videos we need to watch And if you prove us wrong, you prove us wrong. We challenge you. We're that confident in our research that if you can prove us wrong on it, we'll take it. We'll correct it.
We won't mind it.
We'll apologize. We'll correct it, and we'll go on.
Sure.
Guys, Sheila, do the closing.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great morning. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.